So you meet your husband, but then you find out that your sister, who has 4 kids, is hooked on crack.
I ain't find out. I already knew she was hooked on crack.
Right. But you had to take her kids because they were going to take the kids away from her?
So yeah, 1992, me and my husband moving this apartment. We still dating at the time. Moving this apartment. Signed a year lease. I don't even think we 2 months in on the lease. And Defects called me. Well, my sister called me and said, Defects gonna take my kids. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, I gotta find them a place to go before 2 or 3 o'clock today.
Wow. Okay.
And she said, and this bitch who doing it, she mean what she say. I said, I'm on my way. So my husband walked in and from work and I said, hey, I gotta go get my sister's keys. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I said, they about to take my sister's keys. He said, I'm gonna get them goddamn kids. And I said, I got to. I can't let them be split up. And so I go over there and I pick up my sister's 4 kids. Dirty. Oh my God. I was like, I can't take these clothes. The house it was fucked up. And I said, just give me the kids. The baby was in a pamper. I had 2 kids on a pamper. And I said, just give me the kids. I don't want nothing they got. So the caseworker was a really caring woman. She said, she set me with all type of vouchers and stuff to help me get clothes and stuff for them. And she said, we can't give you much, but what we will do is give you Section 8.
Okay.
So I got housing out of it. And I moved to Riverdale, Georgia with my, after I had to calm my at the time, boyfriend and husband down and say, don't leave and these kids need a place and you don't understand where I come from. Because he was raised with his mom and daddy. They went to church all the time. They was middle class. He couldn't understand the world that I came from. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I can't. This is my family. And so they ended up giving us Section 8. We moved to Riverdale, Georgia.
Okay, so you have your sister's 4 kids, and how many kids do you have yourself?
I had 2 on my own.
So 6 kids.
He had none.
Wow. He must have really loved you. He must have really loved you to have 6 kids in the house, none of which are his.
None of which is his.
You got a good man.
When I first started, dating him, I had my kid's father, nieces. So I pretty much raised them too. He helped me out with them. And then I ended up getting my sister kids. So we moved to Riverdale, keep them for 10 or 11 years. My sister popped up out of nowhere. I only had temporary custody and took them. Fucked me up. And I remember everybody was saying, well, let her have her kids. She can raise her kids. I'm like, no. What I was trying to do is break generation curses in my family.
Yeah.
And I figured I had saved these 4 girls from being molested, from being, from dropping out, from becoming teenage moms. And I had put them in a neighborhood where I had taken them out of a place and hoped that they would never remember where I removed them from. But where I messed up at is I never filed for permanent custody. I only kept temporary custody because I was hoping my sister come back and get her kids and get off drugs. And she figured out that I only still had temporary custody and terminated my temporary custody and took those kids. I was devastated.
Yeah.
But I had to hold back the tears and keep living because I was like, you know what? Fuck my family. I ain't gonna keep trying to help you motherfuckers when y'all don't help yourselves. And everybody was against me. Give her kids. I was like, she gonna do to her kids what my mama did to us. I know what my mama did to us. I saw what my mama did to her. That's why she's smoking crack, trying to get over her pain. And I couldn't get anybody to understand that my sister didn't need those kids. Even her kid's father, her husband at the time was like, leave them kids alone. And she did not leave them alone. Today, ask me where they at.
Where are they?
One in prison. Got 20 years for robbing some woman. Got like 6 or 7 kids. My oldest niece is doing fine. She graduated because when her mama came back, she was a senior. So she was fine. My other niece, I have custody of her kids. Went and got her homeless, 4 kids, just ran off and left me with the 4 kids. And my other niece, she don't have custody of her kids. She did everything to her kids my mama did to us.
Yeah. Sad. Well, your boyfriend, Mike, was trying to encourage you to stop selling drugs.
Yes, husband. Yeah, he did many times.
Because you were still selling the whole time.
Not as much as I was when I first met him. Because now I got 6 kids. I can't just go out and hang out on no damn corner. And so, life kind of changed. And he just said, he just asked me to stop. I remember one day I was looking for my crack and I said, where's my dope at? And he said, I smoked it. And I was so fucking mad, but he was lying. And he was like, why don't you stop? By this time, I'm living in the Section 8 house. And I remember when I stopped, I gave my niece my last little bag of crack. And I told her, I said, you can have it. I'm done. I'm going to try to live this regular shit.
Right. Well, but after you stopped drug dealing, you started getting into check fraud.
Yeah, with always one crime to another.
One crime to another.
Yes.
How was that whole situation?
So I had a brother that was a professional burglar, and he would always break in people's houses or cars, and they had their checkbooks in there. And so these crackheads started coming around saying, Rabbit, if you know anybody got checkbooks? I'm like, checkbook? The fuck you gonna do with the checkbook? He said, you give me a checkbook, I give you 3 things off each checkbook that you want. And I was like, huh? And so he said, anything you want from Circuit City. Anything you want. So back in the day, we had those big ass stereo system, laser disc. People don't even remember this, but at one point they came out with a 2-head VCR. Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
That thing was not, and it was $1,000.
Right, you could dub one tape to another.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he had gotten me one of those and a couple other things. So I would just tell my brother, every time my brother would break inside my house, give me a checkbook. He was like, what the fuck is you doing with these checkbooks? But I'm always curious when it come down to making money. I said, this crackhead get a lot of checkbooks. What the fuck is he doing? So I asked him, I said, what are you doing? Show me what you doing. So what he was doing was, he would take an old traffic ticket, put a carbon copy in the middle, take fingernail polish remover, pull over the tickets, no matter who traffic ticket was, it would erase that ticket. You put that carbon copy in the middle and write your information on the first one. It will go off onto the next one, like a little receipt. You would take the one that the carbon copy wrote on, and that was your ID. It was a place in Decatur where you went and got your fake ID made at. And he taught me all of this. And the first time we went out to Forest Chicks, my goddamn niece got locked up. I'll never forget it. We run our ass in Macy's. Oh, we gonna buy us some polo. We gonna buy us this. But the problem was it was too many of us. And we looked like we was stealing. And they escorted our ass straight to the back. And I said, okay, we gotta regroup because we fucked up. We gotta regroup. And so we regrouped, and the next time it worked.
Okay. Did you ever get busted?
Never got busted.